A question is that I did this exercises before and I did it the first time and it was fine, but when I started going to the river, I felt actually very negative emotions, which was like additional one. It's like the shame. Like, how did I put I see myself there in the situation. How did I put myself there in the situation?
Right.
It's terrible.
Right.
And I felt really uncomfortable.
Right. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Because this observer position is a unique one. One of the things that it does is it pulls you out of whatever emotion was there originally, but it can put you into other emotions, right? In Maya's case, it's like, God, I'm ashamed of myself. Right? That's awful. It was almost better just being in it. I'm going back. Right? I'd rather just feel like crap than guilty or shameful.
I'm seeing it.
Right. Here's a strategy. Use the same strategy. Take whatever experience that was, right? Pop out of it, right? And you kind of see yourself and say, oh my gosh, I'm really kind of ashamed of that. Then I want you to take one more step back. And now you're going to see two Mayas. The one that had the experience and the one that felt shameful about it. And you know more than both of them in a sense, right? Here's one that was being ashamed about something that happened to this one over there. What do you know that neither one of them do?
Well, it's not a big deal.
That it's not a big deal. So it's the same strategy, one more step.
I can see multiple Mayas.
Well, now, is it not the case that you do anyway, but you're simply not aware of it? Because sometimes you'll have an experience and then you'll think about it, oh God, I wish I hadn't done that, geez, I'm just ashamed of myself. That in fact what you're doing is you're kind of internally thinking about it, so you kind of see yourself over there, then you feel shameful for it. This is simply a way to do what you already, or what you can already do well, and do it very specifically and methodically, right? And as we progress in this, later today, as a matter of fact, we're going to learn some techniques and strategies to begin to shift your experience of those, events themselves. Yeah?
Yes, Tom, I wanted to ask you, I can see the application for this for past experiences.
Right.
How about present experiences?
Give me an example of what you mean by that.
Like, for example, when your plane is 3 hours late.
Yeah.
And
right.
You're sitting there with your blood pressure going through your head.
Right.
And, and you really want to disassociate and say, I don't want all these emotions coming up. I want to really handle this in a more constructive way and not have all of these physiological reactions.
Right.
Well, how would you
then,
handle that?
let me postpone the answer for about maybe 20 minutes. We're going to be doing a technique that's addressed to specifically that. But it uses dissociation as a part of it. And then the choice of a new behavior in the same situation. Right, so we'll link those together.
First of all, I thought that was an awesome exercise. Great.
It's cool.
As I get into these exercises, I start to think, well, what if I did this? And I disassociated myself, and then I thought, well, I could have done this in that situation, so I changed it, popped back in, and I feel good because I did the right thing instead of the wrong thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I changed. I mean, I don't know if I...
You guys, I give up, man. Usually it takes a group 3 or 4 days to get to where we're at right now. We're already anticipating precisely the next technique.
Okay.
All right? So Oliver just described it in a sense. You were giving us a great example of where it could be useful. So come on down front for a minute and we'll explore this. We're going to be walking around a little bit, so I think they'll hear us fine with a single mic.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. What I'd like you to imagine is for a moment the experience that you just described. It's the airport, the flight's late, whatever that event is. And I want you to be in it right here. So that's where that experience lives. I want you to go there and just notice what comes up. I mean, what happens when you step into that event? Go ahead and step in.
When is this plane going to get here? I have a flight that leaves here. I have to be in New York at 7 o'clock. I've got groups to conduct. Right. My God.
Now, take a deep breath and take 3 steps back.
Okay.
All right? And we'll leave her over there.
Okay.
All right? There she is. And she's having that response.
Okay.
All right? You see her and you see the response that she's having?
Yeah.
All right, now it's your opportunity to become someone like Steven Spielberg, right? A great director.
Okay.
And she, the one that is in that experience, is going to learn something really useful. So the first thing I want you to imagine her doing is taking a seat on that chair.
Okay.
She's going to be an observer for a moment too.
Okay.
All right? And then I want you to, evaluate that whole kind of experience, and I want you to choose a model someone that you know, either real or in fiction or in history, anybody, right, real or imagined, that could handle that kind of a experience, right, because they do happen. But who could handle that with just the way, you know, the right resources, the way you'd like to be able to handle it? But
Okay.
she, sitting on the chair, can't.
Okay.
So who would that model be?
Hector Orsi.
All right. All right. Interesting. All right. Then what we're going to do is Hector is going to be her acting coach in a sense. We're going to begin to roll the video, but this time here comes in Hector, right? And he's going to go through the same event. So just observe him and watch what he does, specifically how he deals with it, how he responds to notes, finding out it's late and the whole thing. Just watch the whole movie, but this time Hector is the actor. So go ahead and evaluate his performance. Just watch him.
Okay.
All right? All the way through until it's... I want you to really kind of get a real sense of specifics, like the way he moves his body in space, the way he's breathing, right? You may even have a sense of kind of telepathically having an idea what he's thinking, whatever. All right? All right, as you evaluate that, does any part of you have any objection to being able to do something like that? Would that be okay? Would that be satisfactory in those kinds of situations?
Sure.
Wonderful. Then we want to thank Hector. Right? Let him go back to wherever he came from.
Okay.
All right? And then she, over here in the chair, was also observing that, right? So now what I want you to do is have her come back, but this time I want you to see yourself, to see her, do exactly the same things that Hector did.
Okay.
So watch her.
Okay, you want me to go out and do it?
No, I want you to watch her first.
Oh, okay.
So, because you're the director here, you need to evaluate her performance to make sure she's doing the same thing, same body posture, same breathing. If you could listen into her thoughts, she's having the same thoughts.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, how's that?
Much better.
Right? Be willing to have that performance rather than the old one?
Yes.
Does any part of you have any objection to that?
Nope.
All right, then we're ready. So we've done all of this kind of tune-up, you see, from third or observer's position, right? Now we're going to acquire the skills by going back to first position. So what you're going to be doing here in a moment is taking a couple of steps forward, and you're going to step into the beginning of the movie, and you're going to go through exactly what she just demonstrated to you, but this time from the inside, actually doing it.
Okay.
All right, so when you're ready, just step in and let her teach you how to do that.
All right. Hi, listen, I really need your help. I'm on the plane at 5 and it's been delayed 3 hours and I need to be in New York at 7. Is there anything you could do to help me get there at that time?
Okay, great. Now, how does that feel?
It feels much calmer and much
Wonderful.
better and
Great.
much more constructive.
Great. Now, is there any tune-up that you'd like to give it, or is it totally satisfactory? Because this is where you wave the magic wand. You can have it be however. Check it out again.
I think it's pretty successful.
Pretty successful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. That's great. Now, the next step is one that we're going to do in just about all of our techniques in NLP. It's called a future pace.
Okay.
And what you do here is you imagine situations like that one that might occur in the future, because things like this do happen. So I want you to think about 2 or 3 that could happen in the next number of months, and I want you to imagine using this new behavior in those situations. So take a moment and actually do that. You might even want to imagine stepping into 2 or 3 different future experiences, different airports, different ticket agents, whatever, and really experience it as if it were happening.
Okay.
Work?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you.
You betcha.